Hello and welcome back to Dial H for Heroclix. I'm your host, Kalder and Ian. This episode, we're going to be chatting all about the cool Champion Clix Open Summer Regionals that happened this past week, as well as everything that's going on in the world of Heroclix. This is episode 531. Howdy, howdy, let's get rowdy.
So if you're looking for emotional satisfaction, my advice to you is seek professional
Heroclix,
help.
I'm here to take back live. You may try, but you know how we set things here. Instant deadpan humor.
Over 6 people think I am funny.
I'm your Captain America.
That was just you in a costume.
You absolute fools.
Simeon will be opening that
That's cool because it's expensive.
I'm gonna make Heroclix like that forever.
Are you kidding? Wow, wow, wow. Dial H for Heroclix is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock every day, including all the latest Heroclix singles and sealed products. Make sure you check them out at CoolStuffInc.com. Use code DIAL5, DIAL5, for 5% off your Cool Stuff Inc. order. And if you want to buy Clix straight from the source, you can go to shop.whizkids.com. Use code DIALH10 for 10% off your order. Doesn't work on certain pre-orders, iconics, and other specialty promos. Joining me in the studio is Ian Eggleston. What's going on, Ian?
Not a lot. Well, at the same time, so much. I don't know. These last few weeks, it's like time has just been like a blur.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's work. It's Heroclix. It's work. It's Heroclix. It's prepping for Worlds, having conversations about Heroclix, having my phone blown up about Heroclix, which I'm not complaining about that. But really, it's just like work, Heroclix, work, Heroclix, work, Heroclix.
That's just kind of how, I guess, August leading into September feels.
It's how it
especially
always
getting ready
goes.
for Worlds. It's just like, ugh.
But I don't have like
You
an
just start
exciting
ticking down.
story to share. It's,
Okay.
Just...
Any, in general, what made you happy this week? Any little fun, bitter Bob?
Oh, man. I won't say things like didn't make me happy. I mean, the event we hosted was
Obviously, yeah, it was a ton of fun.
I had a blast doing that. But, that falls in line with the Heroclix.
What we're going to talk about, yeah.
So it's like, I'm not trying to complain by this. I'm just saying, like, it's like, we just recorded a podcast. It feels very much like that.
Oh,
way.
sure.
You know what I mean? Where it's like,
once you get into the
time
groove,
keeps
once you get
rolling.
into the groove of it, it's just like another week, another one, another one, which is totally fine.
so nothing
I
negative.
enjoy it.
I don't want it to be taken that way, but like leading up to it, a lot of it has just been
You're
so
just
much
you're
of,
just
like,
putting this
checking the
podcast into an
boxes.
instant funk. You are completely murdering the vibe
I'm
right
so
now,
sorry.
dude. I
I just don't want the listeners.
I can't be here anymore. I got to
See
get
ya.
done.
See you, nerd. All right, guys, welcome to the real show, the Ian show. How about you, Calder? What's the new Zim Zam going
Man,
on?
I feel like you know what it is, and you don't want me to talk about it. Is honestly how I
if it's
feel.
that,
I think
then
you.
yeah.
I think you. You know
I can
exactly.
think of something that's made me unhappy this week. No, go ahead.
It's the it's the new Fortnite season, and I know that instantly sounds. I like Fortnite, but like I really never played Fortnite.
But I like Fortnite.
But I like Fortnite. No, I've never played Fortnite consistently, really ever before. Maybe got on once or twice when some friends would like kind of peer pressure you to get on, and I probably haven't played Fortnite in like 2-3 years. But that trailer for the Marvel season, seeing like Gwenpool, War Machine, some of my favorite the kill like Marvel characters, seeing like how the Captain America shield is going to work and all that stuff, and like how the map was going to look, I was like, okay, maybe I'll give it a try. I'll see. And then I just went like full into it. Multiple nights this week, pulling like borderline all-nighters, playing Fortnite. It was just so much fun though, like Doom's gauntlets, kind of figuring out your plan to drop on the map, being like, okay, I'm gonna go Castle Doom, hit the top tower, take out any Doom bots, there's a chest here and here,
and Fortnite.
and
then I'm gonna build
and then kill. I don't build.
And then I'm good at Fortnite.
I play zero build. I don't want to learn how to build. I don't want to play against people building. I don't want to do any of that. Play zero build. But
hey
then
guys, where are we dropping at? I'm gonna build.
it's a little bit of that. I've been playing with a lot of Heroclix players, been playing with some people in our Discord, playing with some friends, and just, the Cap's shield is really fun to bounce off of people. That's a really fun mechanic. The fact that you get a full War Machine arsenal, you can get like his hover jets, you can get his turret, and you can get like his little wrist gauntlet, like shooty deals, is so much fun. Killing the Doombot to get Dr. Doom's like arcane gauntlets where he shoots these big energy blasts is a ton of fun. You can charge up one big energy bomb. That's like almost a free win if you get those. So it's been a blast. I really enjoy, like, Gwenpool is one of my favorite characters as well in recent years for Marvel, so it's been fun to play as her, and she has little side missions and quests for you to do, which is really fun. I would love to see a Gwenpool in Heroclix, like a new one that's not just a bystander, because I think she's really fun. I think they didn't fully be able to explore her fourth wall breaking abilities. I also wouldn't mind a little prime action, a little evil Gwenpool maybe going on, or a Gwenpool that's like a heavy focus on like the West Coast Avengers, or a Gwenpool that has her original run's like art style, like in her sculpt. You can tell it's like very much that kind of cartoony anime art style. Would be really cool. But yes, that is what made me happy this week. I've been having a blast playing it. I cooled off a little bit at the start of this week because last week was a little crazy, staying up crazy late almost every night playing it. But it's just a blast. I saw the Marvel stuff and I'm like, let's go, let's give it a try. And then I
Kalder and Ian Fortnite,
both feet into the water,
signing out.
and then there it is. Yep.
I mean, it's my duty to roast you over this, folks. If you play Fortnite, really, more power to you. You're not Calder, so I won't roast you, but I will roast Calder for it.
I think it's pretty obvious in the past that I've been very judgmental of people before that play Fortnite.
It's true.
Like, I really have been.
We went to the dark side as far as the conversations we've had go.
Basically, yeah. Honestly, which is kind of crazy because, I'd always get upset. Cut my hand off. No. But yeah, like, I'd always get annoyed when people would be like, oh, you're cosplaying the guy from Fortnite. Because basically every costume I have now is like in Fortnite. Ash, Doomslayer, Captain America, like all of these characters are Fortnite characters now, which is like so annoying. But now I'm the very thing I swore to destroy. I'm with them. I'm playing Fortnite and having a blast. Having a grand old time. So if anybody is a listener, plays Fortnite, Nova Shotgunner, my Epic Games name, let's go ahead and play.
It's actually Calderness Fortnite.
It's not
42.
It's not.
That's your YouTube channel for Fortnite.
Yeah, that's my YouTube. Yeah, I'll start streaming Fortnite here soon, guys. I just got it set up. So
these are my top 5 Fortnites.
August 17th. Just like random dates or whatever. Goodness gracious.
This like 2.5 week
every
period.
2.5 week period. This one was a great time. This was blah 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 blah
on vacation.
Goodness gracious. But all right, let's jump into some fun Heroclix news. Before we get into all the tournament stuff, WizKids did announce the buyables at Worlds. So a few things new and a few things we'd seen before. So all the $15 convention exclusives are going to be the Deceased Catwoman, the Deceased Darkseid. So great opportunity for those that weren't able to play in a Champion Clix event and are going to Worlds. Very affordable Darkseid. And then the Batman of Zur NR. Is that probably how it is? Okay. I don't think we've seen this guy at all. And I don't know
think we have, but
I don't know anything about McDonald's Grimace red and yellow Batman. Got crazy colors.
He was in LE way back in the day of like the original Batman set. And I remember not knowing like what is this character. If I'm not mistaken, he's some kind of like time traveled mumbo jumbo version of Batman. I can't remember. I never bothered to read the comics he was in. It was always just kind of like, hey, this guy looks funny and he's got traded prob and he's kind of hard to hit. Like Luke would play him a lot against me. And
sure.
It's kind of a pain to deal with. But down dial, he turned into like this menace, like 12 attack, got some like flurry, and like 4 damage. So this Batman's here to club. Like you can
quite literally, he's got that like spiky baseball.
he's got Charlie.
Once again, shout out! It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He's got the Rat Basher.
You can see the lightning crackling in the background.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. Yeah,
I'm really excited to see what this one does.
He's really cool. And then we see the Deadpool and Friends High Five Kit is also going to be $45 like it was at Gen Con here. And then something new, the League of Super Pets is $60 for 6 figures, which is one of the best price points, actually. $10 per figure, which is like really good for a lot, like any con at least. So,
which Crypto, Streaky,
Superman, Supergirl. Like Superman is like going to throw a stick.
Really?
Yeah, he's holding like a stick. And then there's a horse and a monkey with capes. I don't know. I think someone said Bibu.
Blip's.
That's the Wonder Twins.
That's Wonder.
That's the Wonder Twins monkey. Okay. Liage says it here.
Comet
the Super Horse, Crypto, and then it is Beepo the Super Monkey, Streaky, Crypto, and then Comet the Horse. Yeah. Okay. It's pretty cute. It's pretty interesting. Curious, I guess, to see what they do. I'm not a super person at all, but even I know Crypto's dope. Like, I watched the Crypto show as a kid, and I know Crypto's awesome.
One of the best theme songs, ever. Crypto, the super dog.
It was really fun. So I'm curious to see what they do.
Yeah, I'll be excited to get
That's-
Street
yeah.
Key in my hands. Yeah, also not a huge like Superman person, but this is a box set that speaks to me. I like the pets when they get brought in. The Pet Avengers, the Thor Frog of Thunder from like
Oh, that's a
Hammer of
classic.
Time.
That one's great.
Or Hammer of Time, jeez. I
Hammer
don't know
of
what's
Thor.
going on.
Hammer
of
Time.
My Hammer of Time. No, that's still on my short list. I don't know, for like a decade at this point of figures to pick up. Like, but he's just always been a little too expensive for me to justify it. But whenever they bring the super pets,
That is the expensive you want. I mean, they've made Thor, Frog of Thunder, and
that
Throg a
one's
few more
sculpt.
times. Yeah, it's true.
It's too
that one
good.
it's just iconic.
and it's like the original, you know.
Yeah.
So there's part of me that, you know, it's like a kind of a nostalgia thing where it's like I remember
That's
when
fair.
that figure dropped,
That's
and I
fair.
have like the Thor Buster, so
Ooh,
to kind of round out the chases,
pretty
there,
sick.
it'd be nice
Yeah,
to have that one. But yeah, people still want like $40-$50 for it. I'm like, my mindset is always this can wait.
but that's pretty low compared to like what he was initially, and then even for a few years he was really expensive. So
It's true.
You know?
But the fact that Thor Buster you can get like consistently cheaper for that is like, this is ridiculous, because that figure is like,
the Throg was so
in my opinion, way cool.
new and cool. Whoa.
yeah.
But all right, we have a few fun tournaments to talk about. I think we should talk about our tournament first because it's
Yeah.
the coolest. We had 28 people show up. The tournament was held at Krypton
Not
Comics.
27,
Yep,
28.
28. That is correct.
One more.
It was
than
one more.
another tournament.
One more than
potentially.
at another tournament at that some people that went to that one and some people around that area were complaining that there was a tournament in this
Some
part of the
people were-
world, and then some
Possibly
people were
even in
also
a live stream saying
maybe saying that
they were going to pull way more people than us,
And
they
yet-
were going to do way better. And
and yet
have
it was
better
one
prizes.
less and they had to have a bye, which is just so embarrassing to have
That
to have
is
a bye.
embarrassing.
Just embarrassing to have a bye.
Couldn't be me.
No, dude,
It's all
could-
sell over
literally
here.
could never be me. Oh my gosh. But yeah, so a certain tournament the same day we did better than. Kind of crazy how that works. Anyways, we had 28 people, Krypton Comics, they were great hosts, and it was 300 modern. We actually saw a lot of people that I'd never seen come to tournaments before. So
Yeah,
I was actually
some
really
new
excited
names,
about
new
some new faces. It was a lot of fun. We saw some really cool team building. I enjoyed the creativity we got to see with the post watch list erratas. And it was just an absolute blast. So what we ended up doing was 4 rounds, cut to top 16, and then I believe we had a break before top 8, end of top 16, before top 8. We had a break. Tournament, it's a long day. It's a tournament.
is.
It's a classic. Shout out Lucas Van Holland for judging the tournament. We did not want to judge 300 modern. That's insane.
I feel comfortable with a lot of stuff in 300 modern, but then you get that one rules question, and then I don't know. I'm not fully confident in my ability to arbitrate, I guess, the nuances of modern.
There's really too much wacky stuff that can potentially
Yeah.
happen where it's like, I don't know, we've all played games like that too where it's like, man, how could we have possibly gotten to this point and I have no idea how this works, you know?
Yeah.
It's weird how that just comes up in games. You're like, I couldn't possibly think of something crazy.
I've read the comprehensive rule book enough to know that, like,
But then,
these things function.
something will happen in game or a special power on this guy, special power on that guy, and it's like, oh, how do these clash? How does this
Yeah.
work? It's kind of
all of a sudden,
odd.
yeah, you have to be really well versed, and also at the same time, you have to know exactly what to reference,
Yes.
because you don't want to waste your
Yeah.
player's time, and all of a sudden you lost like 3 minutes of a match because I was looking something up. So the obvious call was Lucas. So we called him in. He did a great job of not doing what I just described.
Yes, indeed.
And it really was cool. We saw a lot of creativity. I think the number one thing to point out, and I don't think that this is isolated to just Omaha, but Kong really did not. He didn't come out too much.
We only had, I believe, one Kong player. We did not see a
Two.
lot of
There were
Kong.
two.
Oh, there were two. We only saw 2 Kong players then. Not a whole lot of Kong.
Which
I guess-
isn't surprising. Post watch list, people are probably thinking, okay, well, I think that naturally just kind of shakes up your build path.
I think there was a bit of an initial scare post watches. We're just like, okay, I just don't really want to mess with them then. Don't really want to touch him. It's like, oh, it's a little scary. So I think this is definitely more responsive to that and less what
Less
everybody
always
is
bad.
less always bad. It's more just like, well, okay, Kong is probably off the table, so I don't have to worry about him, so maybe I'll build something else, So I think that's really fun. I think it's kind of cool to kind of see the different mindsets people have when building a team, especially a post watch list era.
I will say immediately that I think the post-watch list is like so much healthier.
Oh, way healthier. Just looking
healthier.
at several different tournaments, which we'll get to a little bit here, I'm way more excited for Worlds and what people are building than how I initially felt after we left Nationals. When it felt so samey, and I'm very excited.
And that's a different environment, granted.
It
I
is.
knew that going into it, but even then, like the building was stagnant, the gameplay, was a bit linear.
Riveting is what you meant to say. It was riveting gameplay.
Well, I mean, when everyone comes in with the same expectation and it performs that way, you can't be like upset about that. But it is nice. And then, understanding that Worlds is a much different field to traverse. It's way more strategic. It's less about just wiping your opponent. It's out positioning, I think, in a world of worlds. And so leaving Nationals, even if there wasn't a watch list, it's like, okay, it's not going to be 1-to-1 with this. But knowing that Kong has been knocked down a peg and that there are like legitimate ways to deal with him now, but he is still like an offensive monster, I love it. I think it's so good. And also, the other thing that's really cool is now his trait where he can make 2 actions in a turn. I feel like that's more valuable because his mobility has been lessened, and because he's easier to kill now. He's not this massive defensive threat. It's like, okay, you're probably looking at this in a similar light to something like Arachnite now, where it's like, I have some survivability, but I can't bank on it. So you're looking to do more. You're looking to build more specifically with Kong rather than this is just the best piece. So I think Kong is now, kind of hopefully
in a
finding
healthier
his,
position than a must play. Yeah.
Finding his spot in the meta. So,
got to shout out before we kind of get into our top 8 here and give everybody their props. Got to shout out Mike Buell for playing the most based team of the day, which was
25
multiple men with the one played home kit starter multiple men, and then 24 of the common multiple man. Yeah, this team rules. This team rocks. It is hilarious. It's so funny. Taking one-man army to a whole new meaning. I would say, like, this just rocks. I mean, this is how people want to play multiple man, and he went and did it in a tournament setting, which is sick.
It was wild.
So
to walk
cool.
by his games and like look at the game states that he was in. Like at one point, I was walking by a match between him and Tyler, and there was literally I think actually like close to 15 multiple.
There's so many
surrounding a singular world's finest. It's like,
yeah,
I'm gonna beat
punch
you
for
up.
6 damage. It's just like all these empowers. Yeah.
It was sweet. So yeah, shout out to Mike for sure. That was easily the favorite build of the week.
But then our top 8 in order of rank. We had the winner, of course, was Alex Mader. Shout out Alex. Second place was Ethan Jacobs. Third was Tristan Halverson. Fourth was Omaha's own, or at least a new recent local to Omaha,
new great addition.
Jason Levine. And then fifth, again, Omaha here, Brendan Flick. Sixth was someone who came from Lincoln, which is awesome. We had Richard Zatlukel. Seventh, we had Edward Shelton, shout out KC, and then eighth, we had another Omaha local, shout out Tim Roby. So, Alex Mader's team, no Prime, which is cool, which is interesting. Not even Absorbing Man Prime.
Doesn't drink Prime, doesn't play
drink
Prime.
That's
the life he lived.
He had Ghost Rider with Warlock, he had Arachnite at 60 points, Wonder Woman, Chainsaw Wonder Woman, Ghost Goblin with Trick Arrows, and then double Scott Porter, of course, white shirt with Sinestro Core Ring. The pilot was Werewolf by Night, classic one for Ghost Rider. And then Iron Inquisitor, King Killmonger, Kid Thanos on the sideline with Dark Phoenix. And then Cathan, who I also assume is on Ghost Rider. So,
yes,
ton of fun. It was just a solid build. Once again, I think Ghost Rider is just going way up in value.
When we go over our top 3,
we'll get there.
We'll discuss Ghost Rider, but very quickly, I want to say that outside of like the Ghost Rider equipment and the pilots, because there's a million things you can do with that. You can even give him an avatar. This is, I think, very close to becoming kind of the standard issue build going into Worlds.
Okay.
One of the two. I think the other line that you're looking at is Prime Colossus. If you are nervous about how do I beat this, how do I beat that, how do I survive this, how do I survive that, Ghost Rider or Colossus are a great starting point. They also share rulers, so you can play them together. Wonder Woman also does a great job of keeping your stuff alive. Big surprise. So does MOE. You're probably playing double Scots if you're going to Worlds as well. And then Arachnite, I think, is where you see flexibility in this team. So for me, this is very close to like, if you are looking for a team to play, start with this and deconstruct it. decide, like, what are the
Okay.
things that you want on the team that this team doesn't have, and what are the changes to Ghost Rider you want to make. But if you are nervous about the field, I think this is a really good team to practice for a lot of reasons, and I'll just go into that very quickly, which is offensively, it's very capable through Arachnite and Ghost Rider. Like, you have the ability to do a lot of damage. Same with Ghost Goblin and Trick Arrows. That's a little more complicated. You can always change that spec. But then the survivability and defensive capability of this with MOE Ghost Rider, you're able to just keep so much of your stuff alive, and if you're not, you have Wonder Woman to fall back on. So there are so many things that this team can do. It can afford to move to the middle of the map and say, come hit me. I'll keep all of my rollouts protected via Ghost Rider. I'll have a King Killmonger or an Iron Inquisitor to help me defensively even more. It can sit in the starting area and say, hey, come to me. But it also has the offensive reach and capabilities to just go to your opponent. So it's a massive threat at pretty much any stage, any point, offensively or defensively. And it just plays really solid figures. So if you're really nervous about Worlds, I think that this build is a really, really good like jumping off point for, just feeling like you have a fighting chance in every match you play.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
props to Alex Mader on this team. I love it.
Then we'll shout out second place here, Ethan Jacobs with the King Deadpool Elsa Bloodstone mystical kind of monster theme going on here. Also has a Ghost Rider. This one's got Bucky's arm instead. Arachnite at 60 with Colony.
Which
King
is
Deadpool.
very cool call. Giving
It is cool.
Arachnite
Exploit, dude.
exploit,
Yeah.
and then also he increases the damage dealt by 1 if they share a keyword. So he shares a keyword with a lot of characters with
Mystical
like
scientist, yeah.
Spider-Man family to a degree. So yeah, dealing like 4 pen with Arachnite up to 3 times a turn.
It's pretty helpful. This makes
It's
Arachnite a little
It's
prime
dirty.
Spider-Man killer a little bit with the
He can
precision
kill
strike
Kong
and then
really
exploit
easily,
super kill Kong easily because he's 60 points, 10 points more. Okay, I like that. King Deadpool Elsa with Avatar Khonshu, Saturnine, and then Scott Porter.
Now
Sinestro
that's an
Ring.
interesting call for me because King
Saturnine.
Deadpool and Elsa, they already give people probability
Prop,
control
yeah.
with their trait. They give it to monsters, so it's not everybody on the build. I think it's Ghost Rider doesn't have monsters.
He does
either.
not have monster.
Okay, so maybe not. But the fact that King Deadpool and Elsa get access to
So
free
it's just
trick
like so
arrows,
it's really just like them and Scott Porter.
yeah, that's
Interesting.
okay. I thought he had more prob on the build. That's my mistake. But still, to make the call of paying 10 points for Khonshu and then also not play the trick arrows when you can get them for free with this character who have the massive AoE energy explosion.
Right.
I don't know if I agree with that, but I like this build a lot. I'm not going to like critique it. He did very well. Took second place. Werewolf and Blade on the sideline for pilots on Ghost Rider, and then Ghost Rider as well for, I believe, what does he give? Steel Energy and Shape Change.
Yeah.
And then the Absorbing Man Prime, always a good call.
Classic.
But yeah, the Khonshu on King Deadpool and Elsa is interesting. Colony on Arachnite is interesting. I like it a lot.
I like
think the
that.
build's really solid.
I like that choice.
And then third place, you guessed it, also has Ghost Rider. This time, though, so, illustrating the point of you can really kind of modulate your Ghost Rider however you like. This Ghost Rider is coming in unequipped, but he has Avatar of Khonshu on the sidelines, so kind of playing around that King Killmonger. Again, we see Wonder Woman. Again, we see MOE. But this time we see the addition of offense in Elsa Bloodstone Prime with a Trick Arrow. She is able to make free attacks against equipped characters, so being able to carry her, attack an equipped character, steal their equipment, hand it off to whoever. It's very, very strong.
Really good.
You've also got Double Scott and then Madison, who is handing out the Underworld team ability to help mobilize your team a bit more. And rounding it out is Daredevil with a Bucky's arm. You guys know how we feel about Daredevil. I don't need to go into that anymore. Daredevil is very, very solid. The addition of Madison on this team, I think, is a little strange. I think you get enough support through the Scott Porters. Personally, I'd probably do maybe a Daredevil at 20 and then another one at 10. But, not everybody has a wheelhouse of Daredevil, so that's
Also
fair.
very true.
The last thing to note here, though, is that he does have a nifty traffic barrel, which I assume Daredevil is just carting around and saying, here's, you deal with it, shutting off your improved movement. Another very undersung element, but I think is a tune that more people are singing now. The nifty traffic barrel is insane. Very, very good. And in fourth
And then in
place,
fourth,
saw our
we
most
had-
interesting build, I think.
This was really cool. We had a mystical theme team. Jason Levine was playing with King Arthur having Colony,
Again, the
just
exploit.
normal super rare man thing, a Kong with a Mets, Carnage Clea, which is wild. She has Black
Deep
Symbiote
pull.
for free, and then Saturnine with the Sinestro Core ring. But we did a little play testing practice the Sunday before the tournament in prep for, obviously for Saturday. And playing against this team, it was very odd. It was very unique to have it play. I really like King Arthur. I think he has really good survivability. Being your 80-point lead, your main man, is he's fighting again with Daredevil, I feel like, and being that head honcho of the team, your 80 to 70-point attacker. But I really like King Arthur. He's a stat beast. I think Colony is great so that he can deal penetrating damage. He deals with Kong fairly easily. These man things are so underplayed. I also think. I think people just overlook Man Thing way too often. I think he's just so insanely good. He's a 21 pretty much all times.
Against Mern, he's a 19.
True.
With the Scott bonus that you can pick up, he's a 22
22
with ease. He's hypermobile with being able to pop into different plants, charge, giant reach, invincible traded, steal energy
So good.
traded. Yeah, I've been a Man Thing man since day one. I love this piece. Now that he can hurt Kong, it's I really love this piece.
It's huge.
It's just really hard, man. The mystical keyword, there's so many directions you can go. But the thing is, he's also animal monster scientist. All of these keywords,
Great keywords.
have legs to stand on.
It's also very interesting that he had no Scott Porters on this build.
Yeah,
so
no Scotts.
Scott Porter's completely out of there.
He said I don't like playing the hyper competitive stuff. So the fact that he went as far as he did, playing, what
making
some would
top
call
4, which is a little
some jank.
offbeat, some jank. Yeah, no, it really is though. He's
cool.
awesome. So I love to see it. I think it's a ton of fun. And then he's even really utilizing the whole sideline with Saturnine that she can swap out tarot cards, which I see almost no one do when they play Saturnine. So it's kind of cool to see him have pack some extra tarot cards here, which is pretty fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is our top 4. I really enjoyed the tournament. Everybody had a blast. Was a ton of fun. So can't wait to do something here again in the future, since the tropical regionals are ending here this next kind of coming few weeks. They did say on their Facebook about maybe some winter events will be happening, which is really cool. So I'm curious to see what Champion Clix winter events end up looking like. But there are a few more events that we wanted to talk about here that I think were a ton of fun. So you want to talk about the Newark event here?
We could hop over to Newark. We could hop over to Columbus, the 27th.
I suppose you better just go in order, keep it nice and easy. So at an event that had less players than our event, this Columbus event,
I got a comment on this one.
it's so funny.
Daniel Powell going back to his classic double surfer with some new flair, though.
Mm-hmm.
So he played a similar build at Adepticon using the Green Lantern Batman Prime, who I think has lost some shine because Mern just, you have 2 barriers and I still shoot through it. You share keywords with me, you're done. So it's been switched up a bit, but now he's playing a Mern of his own with the double Carnage Surfers that are unequipped, so he doesn't care about your Kingmonger. Carnage Silver Surfer, though, he's still I won't say he struggles against Kong, but
He's
he doesn't
fallen
do
off.
well against
He's
Kong
really fallen off.
necessarily.
It doesn't help him at all.
But then you think about all the little things that come out, like little generated bystanders or constructs. It's just as easy as it's always been to heal these Carnage Surfers, and they can run out of control easy. Pairing with them, the MOE, which is no surprise, very solid. Mern to let them shoot through everything, and then Cosmo to shut off powers, which I think is an interesting call. Rounding out the build is Double Scott and Timebreaker. But with Cosmo, there are so many different ways.
I feel like
kind
it's
of
wild
around it.
to just main force play Cosmo.
When Ghost Rider
In this
is
economy?
prevalent-
In this action economy?
In the Ghost Rider economy, that's wild. But in addition to that, Cosmo, because it's like a duration effect, if you pulse wave him, which every team has pulse wave via white shirt,
Yeah.
it's ended.
It's gone.
So
Yeah.
to take advantage of Cosmo, you really have to be offensive. But then in that instance where it's like Ghost Rider teams always get to use their powers, I don't know. I'll be honest. I'm surprised it worked this well. I'm not.
I mean,
say
it
I'm
won,
surprised Dan
right?
won,
No, not surprised at all.
I'm surprised Cosmo was on the winning build, though.
That's
I
fair.
really like this build. I think previously in this iteration, outside of Mern, Cosmo would have been Hope Summers, who was copying Barrier. Previously Dan was very, very heavy on being able to barrier, I think quite literally 16 squares.
Yep, that sounds
And,
sounds right.
sounds like
that's
Dan.
just not. But that's just not happening anymore.
It just doesn't matter as much.
Well, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it can still happen. It just doesn't matter because good old
Here
Mern.
comes Mern.
Here comes Mern. Yeah,
and
see
so
through
he's
everything.
taking advantage of that same thing. But this is a very interesting team. I think this is a very stout reminder that, hey, things that used to be good, guess what?
Yeah.
They're still pretty good. This one's crazy, though.
Second place, the Milk Dud Man, Jalen Major. I cannot believe playing Apocalypse. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. Legacy APOC. Ooh.
The team properly named He Hath Risen.
Yeah, this rules. With Domino Prime, Annihilation, and then Black Shirt Scott. This is such a... I don't know, man. This is such a wild team.
It's a modern take on what we've seen over the years where, previously it was like just APOC, or it was Apocalypse with Scarab and Annihilation. Because Annihilation, she's coming up on her third Worlds. Then the previous year... Lucas was playing Apocalypse with Genesis, APOC, Mephisto, and Annihilation, and now it's APOC with the Tauret, which I think is interesting. I suppose he already has Stealth, though, so maybe he doesn't need Conchu.
No.
But then Domino and Annihilation, again, the Domino is very interesting, because what her ability does, if you guys aren't familiar, is that when an opposing character within range rolls a singular D6, she can roll a D6 herself and replace it with that roll. So you can kind of use your Domino as a very offensive piece or a defensive control piece to make sure that your opponent's missing those rollouts or maybe missing like leaderships or willpowers. It's a lot stronger than you'd think. I think she kind of got checked in the Poison Ivy world because she really only has super senses on her dial.
Yeah, no reducers is very hard in like insane amounts of poisons across the map. But yeah, triple stop, 4 through 6 senses on those stop clicks with just the silliest values I've seen in my life. They kind of rule.
So Domino, I think, I don't know. I'm not going to say she's slept on, but I also don't want to say she's like properly rated. I think there is space for Domino to prove herself in the game right now, but I just don't know where it is, and I'm wondering if it's this build. Annihilation is, it's the Buffalo Ranch combination with APOC. Like, you got to have one if you're going to have the other. The fact that you're just getting free Matt Damons every turn.
Yeah, Matt
11 for 3.
Damon.
Quake Exploit, Invincible.
Plus, she's got the little blue lantern rings. They're going to be 11 for 4, which is really solid. I really enjoy that.
No white shirt Scott on this build, though. Just black shirt.
Yeah, it seems odd to me, but...
Re-rolling single.
That's what you got to do with the
rolls,
points.
though.
I think the single D6 roll is the most important when it comes to like Domino.
Mm-hmm.
If you really want to go into like the whole re-roll single D6 type of era,
you're
there
looking
it
to
is.
control the board with this team, and I really like this build. I don't fully know what to make of it. I don't know quite how it plays, but I imagine it's very similar.
I'm gonna want to check out the stream a little bit of that day and see how he's playing this build and how it rolls for Jalen,
and how he beat the other.
It's really cool.
26 people there.
Yep.
That's right, Jalen.
Oh, it's so funny.
Calling you out.
Getting called out. That's the top two.
Yeah.
Do we want to just skip and talk about the coolest team there?
I was about to say, there's
just
one more build.
Not quite making it to top 8. Josiah plays Bad to the Bone, as Clay has dubbed it. This is like one of the coolest builds I've ever seen. He's playing 3
the Chad build.
3 super rare Ghost Riders, and they each have the motorcycle, which rocks, and then Madam Web at 30 points with Warlock. So I assume that makes them all a 50-50 super senses that you can't get rid of. They all have +2 speed, charge, super senses. One of them has Chthon. We have Blade.
3 Ghost Rider pilots.
3 Ghost Rider pilots, and then 1 Blade pilot, potentially, which is...
Oh, so they're all shape changed. They're all 4 through 6 senses because they have motorcycle senses plus Spider-Man TA. And then one red man who can just switch onto the field. Old King Killmonger sees this team. It's like that meme of the guy behind a tree.
Yeah.
Like rubbing his hands. Yeah. King Killmonger sees this team.
Yeah,
He's
dude.
thrilled.
King Killmonger. Okay, so the King Killmonger matchup is obviously awful, and probably why
you might
Josiah...
as well just start flipping a coin at that point. I hit you? Do you hit me?
Let's just keep going. Let's do the pen-size stats. All right, let's see what happens. Goodness gracious. It's so funny, though. I want to, like, get 2 more Ghost Riders and a few more motorcycles just to play this team. This team is hilarious.
I have 4
with the
motorcycles. I have a Ghost
With
Rider.
the auto succeed super senses.
You have a
I don't
Ghost
know.
Rider?
I do have a Ghost Rider. Okay, so we have this team pretty much. We just need one more Ghost Rider.
I think we need
just one more Ghost Rider.
I can't remember if I have 1 or 2 of him.
Okay,
I think
potentially
I sold my other one.
Potentially need one more Ghost Rider. But this team is awesome. This team rocks. This has got to be like one of my favorite teams I've seen at all this past weekend. This is
if I was going to play in an online event, I think I would play this team just to see what happens.
Less things to save, less things to add to roll 20. Just
also,
all right.
Triple leadership, and then anytime your opponent rolls a 6,
triple leadership willpower. So these guys are probably moving every single turn.
The Madam Web rally ability, though, when your opponent rolls a 6,
for an
you
auto
now
succeed.
get an auto succeed on super senses, which
just
is
rules.
also hilarious.
So you got all misses or
tower?
crit misses, High Priestess, Ace of Cups, that makes sense. 10 of Pentacles, hypersonic speed, that makes sense. Queen of Wands, single D6 rolls, +1, that makes sense. 10 of Swords, pen damage, move replaces turn. Okay, yeah. Yep, those are pretty dang solid tarot deck for this team as well.
Yeah, shout out Josiah for this.
Yeah,
one.
Josiah,
I wish
this
he made
team
it a bit
rocks.
further with that.
I really wish so. Another tournament here. Let's round out the summer regional ones with the... Is this one the Newark one? Yeah, this is the Newark one. So it had 24 players in all Newark, New Jersey. The winner, I'll run through the top 8, but the winner is Isaac Arnold Berkowitz.
What?
Second place was, I know. It's
He won?
Wild. We had Luke, second. Third was Michael. We had fourth, Joe Pang. 5 was McConnell Lamar. 6 was Antonio Clark. 7th was Anthony Bruno. Shout out Coffee and Clicks. Then 8th was Michael Corbin. And then squeaking in 9th place was Ed Arnold Berkowitz. Now, Isaac's team is super interesting and very odd to me,
And
but
you
it's
can
very unique.
Speak on this now.
I can, because I tried to practice with it against 2 teams last night, and I don't think I fully grasp the team's rollout. I think I understand what the team is gunning for and what it's trying to do, and obviously Isaac's a better player than me, so and also he made the team, so he kind of knows more so how to run it than some guy going, okay, I'll just play this. So net decking doesn't work as well as you think it does, kids, but I absolutely love this team. So he's got Spider-Man with the Black Symbiote for free, Major Logan at full points with the motorcycle, which might be my new all-time favorite way to play Major Logan. I think that rocks. Kong at 50, Black Skull with Bucky's arm, and then White Shirt Scott with Sinestro Core ring. Right away, and also kind of looking at the tarot cards and everything, it's very heavy on the Spider-Man has 3 through 6 super senses, a 50-50 impervious roll. Same thing, Major Logan's going to have a 50-50 super senses roll. Kong, 50-50, impervious. Black Skull, 50-50 shape change and super senses. Because he's got Kong, he has Scott Porter. I think that's why the Porter inclusion more than anything is that he had to have at least one of the Scott Porters on his team, and this one makes the most. It's also unthemed, by the way. Yeah. So I think White Shirt Scott makes the most sense unthemed. So sure, you're not getting the +1 bonus or anything, but at the very least, you need a Scott Porter.
He's a Pulse Wave, Construct Drop, Perplex, Prob, Wild Card.
He's still...
You don't have to make a case for the guy.
No.
He belongs everywhere.
It's an insane amount of uses, but I think the biggest point is just so that way he has a figure that shares a name with an opposing figure, just so that way they can make Major Logan's effect happen each turn. Also, of course, Kong, just in case. Kong is also... again, still seeing a lot less play, but I think it makes a lot of sense on this team. So Spider-Man... When I played last night, the only figure that really died was Scott Porter and Major Logan, but I was also never able to get as many KOs as I was hoping to playing this team. So I don't know, it's a very interesting rollout. I kind of used Black Skull for the most part just to swap an Iron Inquisitor right away for a TK. I think the team is kind of hurting for a TK, but with it, Major Logan can get almost all the way across the map, which is so nice, and Spider-Man is always just insanely mobile, so he's always good. But leaving in Bucky's arm for Black Skull to just be a better attacker, Black Skull just has such a weak sauce attack value, having that 10. It is kind of cool in some cases to use that. I think a lot of the time it's swapping off, giving maybe Bucky's arm to Kong, so that way he's a better attacker, I would say.
I would assume so.
I honestly was trying to struggle. It's if Chthon was on Kong, then I'm really not wasting turns picking up the Bucky's arm. That doesn't make sense. So I assumed Chthon is on Scott Porter. Is on Scott Porter. Okay, yeah, it's also kind of what I went with, at least in the second game. I went that route. I enjoyed it. I think I kind of see the vision trying to play this team. I loved the matchup. So I'll get into this because I had terrible luck against Matt Reed. So right away, this is the only misplay I think I made the game against Matt. So he was playing, of course, the Matts from old build. He gets insane leaderships right away in order to get a Phoenix Sentinel on turn 2 or 3 or whatever it was. Insanely fast Phoenix Sentinel. He went first, I went second. And he blasts Major Logan for 3 damage right away. Now, this was first mistake. I really should have masterminded that I had Iron Inquisitor out. So that was a huge screw up on my part. But then also, the card for Matt was the one where you have to move in a straight path. And then my card that turn was Impervious Rolls or +1. And then he outwitted Major Logan's damage power. So I didn't have my +1 to rolls and his -1 to rolls. So now I'm trying to kill Phoenix Sentinel without Precision Strike on Major Logan. with no pen damage on anybody. And I think I hit every single attack on Phoenix Sentinel. So I charged, hit with Major Logan, Flurry is free, Spider-Man could move up there, Flurry, and then Flurry is free with Unconscious. So what is that? 7 attacks, and he made like all but 2 impervious rolls. And I was like, oh my gosh. It was painful.
I'm kind of having a moment over here. Sorry, just looking at Major Logan and thinking about Matt's Master Mold team. Master Mold.
I think Major Logan could eat him up.
Yeah, if
I think
if
played it full with the motorcycle. Yeah.
Well, not even that. Just like, the fact that you can just Flurry is free against robot keyword. That's like everything Matt has.
It is everything Matt.
This guy just gets to eat his lunch for free all game.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest things to highlight with Isaac's build as well is that this is a 5-figure build, so almost certainly Kong gets to double activate. And I think where the Lich Pin of this team very much feels like Major Logan, and it's interesting because you're paying 90 points with the equipment, so this is your most expensive piece. But looking at this build, Major Logan is probably a figure that I'm still just like sitting back.
I think you should stay in the back more. I think the fact that Spider-Man just has an insane survivability is really who you just send out.
You YOLO
to just
with
mess
Spider-Man,
around with.
And
yeah.
Major Logan is really like, you need to have precision with that piece. And then yet, Isaac, you're going to have to explain a little bit more on the Black Skull Bucky.
He did a really cool team write-up post-Nationals on HC Realms. I would really maybe he won't do a team write-up about this going into Worlds. I wouldn't. Yeah. But post-Worlds, if he still runs this team, or at the very least, if you want to send me a team write-up, Isaac, please, I'm begging you, I'm not playing. I would love to understand the inner workings of how this team worked. I would have loved to see a stream or some recorded matches from the Newark event, because I would also have just loved to see this. Oh, are there from Newark?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought they were just some from
Highlander
Columbus.
stream.
Oh, it was the Highlander stream. Oh, okay, cool. Then I'll probably go check that out then. I didn't realize it was streamed. All right, cool. Then I'll actually have to go see and kind of watch and kind of study and see how this game was played. But yeah, shout out Isaac. This team is just, I don't know, an era of unthemed, but yeah, it's the classic good stuff is good. And I really like seeing builds like this, especially that Major Logan with the motorcycle. That might be like my new favorite thing to play.
I think it's a really solid combo when you add in plus really 2 movement. He already has sidestep. It's an 8-square swing, and he's free flurrying. I mean, obviously the dice roll bonuses and reductions are fantastic.
Yeah.
I still am going to stand on, I don't think Major Logan is like $200+ good, but he's very good.
Probably not, but this is insanely fun. This is insanely sick.
You got to wonder how much of it is just like the fact that he's got a cool sculpt too.
It's just so sick.
He's also great as a butterfly sideline. He's a great piece, but I don't
so many multiples uses. Ooh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
he's not Carnage Surfer. He dunks on Carnage Surfer.
He does dunk on Carnage Surfer. But as like the effectiveness of a piece, no, I don't think he's quite like a Carnage Surfer, insane like attacker like that. It's very lacking keywords. Keywords. I would have killed for stealth in the game too. I think it would have been nice to give this guy stealth to some extent. But yeah, there's just a few things that seem to be missing to push him to like the insane. Oh yeah, I don't justifiably see it. No, you definitely should not underestimate this guy. Dude's nuts.
In second place,
losing
to Isaac is
Luke Scheffenacker.
Once again, I had mentioned standard issue builds. We saw that relatively in Alex Mater's. This is another standard issue build, but the Colossus route of Colossus, Butterfly, Kong, King Killmonger's MOE, and Double Scott. Butterfly can switch into a variety of things. It looks like Luke had just Mern as an option, and then only MOE. So there's probably some situations where he's going into double
up on MOE. Yeah.
Okay, so it's a little different, but once again, like the standard shell of like Colossus, MOE, Double Scott, Butterfly, and then some people main force Death Metal Wonder Woman. Some people do Kong. This is very run of the mill. Not surprising at all that this did well. Colossus is a very stout figure. He doesn't exactly have like bad matchups. There are some things that are like more favorable against him. But Colossus is just pretty much across the board strong and good against just about everything that's out right now.
Agreed.
So, yeah, standard. In third place was Michael, and he was coming in with a very
This is so unique. Man, this is so cool. Yeah. So 200-point Kong with Avatar of Amet, and he's playing Hush with Khonshu. This had to be explained to me last night, but you can kind of look at Hush, then you figure out, oh, that's why he's playing him. So Hush has a special defense power that gives him Mastermind and free choose another friendly character within range and line of fire that shares a keyword with Hush. place the chosen character place the chosen character into a square adjacent to Hush. So Hush can move out 7 or whatever within 5 range. Say, okay, Kong. They both have celebrity.
Kong's in square
place
2.
him forward.
You move Hush to square, so he could be at most in square 7 because that's 5 away.
5 away.
And then he gets to place Kong in square 8 and 9.
8 and 9.
That's still adjacent.
Yep.
So yeah, you're moving up Kong further than Blackheart did. Blackheart does more than Hush. Let's be very clear there.
A lot more. And also, Hush is 60 points.
And just worse.
And a lot worse. Yeah, just a lot worse.
It's
but in the era of Blackheart is gone, this is your next mobilizer.
Sick,
I still personally, I'm a Donnie Blaze man for life. I think that's my favorite mobilizer at 45. I know, but doesn't get him as far. No. So yeah, Hush just goes Yo Kong. Tosses him all the way up there.
Amit, Chthon, and then Madison for some perplexes on a celebrity theme.
Going all in 200-point Kong is just...
Calder, I think we got to give this
wild.
Another Chad stamp here.
Yeah, I'll give that a Chad stamp.
Here. This rocks. This is
Indeed.
a really cool build.
Indeed.
So yeah, basic principle of just, hey, we're going to call him in.
Big monkey.
And he's going to do some monkey stuff. Another potential Chad build.
Potential, especially with Ol Arachnite.
I've been messing around with this. There's been some other people too. I call him the Arac King. So rather than playing your standard Arachnite at 60, typical with trick arrows, you're seeing Arachnite with the Herald of Galactus to keep his super senses protected, Avatar of Amit to give him steel energy and poison, and then Chthon on the sideline to bump his stats up. The steel energy cancels out the damage from Chthon, and this just makes Arachnite like a stat monster. On a theme team like this one, he's only running 1 Scott. So only the reroll
just
Scott,
doing black.
no white shirt, so no bonus to the stats. But even then, like Arachnite is still like a 13 for 5, 14 for 5. Like it's really easy to bump him up. He's got Death Metal Wonder Woman to keep him alive. He's got Kazar to mobilize him, which again I think is a little bit weird of a choice. I don't know if Kazar is quite worth 50. I like him as a butterfly option, but I do like the idea of playing an overloaded Arachnite who is just all over the board, hard to kill, couple stop clicks, and just pumping out damage potentially every turn because he does get that cosmic willpower as well. So yeah, this is really cool, but he's also playing Amit, Tauret, and Khonshu. He's playing every single Avatar,
all of them,
which is interesting. And then you got to shout out Daredevil.
Of course.
Yeah, super fun.
A little Daredevil Warlock action going on here.
Arachnite's like one of the most fun pieces. Daredevil is also. Hopping into the next one. Gosh, there's so many events. We just hit.
Chat about a little Mexican Nationals.
Is this where we start getting into like the, kind of like the new world? Really, they play a different.
It's an insanely different game.
I've described the way that Saul and Richie, our friends over at Toxiclix, when they would tell us about how Mexico Nationals is, it's like, yeah, they don't let you take stuff back.
Yeah,
they play hard.
Scary.
What you do is finalized. I was like, you guys are literally Bane. You were like playing in the prison yard where it's like, you touch that figure, we're gonna have some problems.
The not letting people take things back is like we're so accustomed. I feel like in the U.S. and Canada, I guess, and like we're so used to like, I'll outwit this. Oh no, sorry, can I outwit this? And it's like, no, it's been declared. No, it's been declared. Sorry.
It's like, no, you said outwit this.
You already said outwit this, and that's outwitted now.
And then you're locked down. You've been cuffed to the table. You're like, what's happening?
Whoa, what's going on?
Start getting interrogated.
The lights go dark. There's just that one hanging light above the table. What's going on?
So where are they? To play Heroclix.
So you thought you could outwit something? Take it back.
Does
your word mean nothing?
Does your
But shout out, what is this? Gibran Gonzalez. He played Butterthing. I love the name of that. Old Butterthing. Butterfly, Man-Thing, Carnage Surfer with Khonshu, 50-point Kong, Murn, Sinesha Ring, and then a Scott Porter black shirt.
An alarming amount of no or singular Scots.
A couple of interesting things. So his sideline for Butterfly is, I guess, Prime Brother Voodoo, Wolverine in the bed, Deadpool, Pool Party Deadpool, and Ace Legacy card. These are some of the wildest Butterfly
hard
picks
counters
I've ever seen. Yeah, they are hard counters, though. Deadpool with line of fire for sure. Ace with being able to, turn off things. But, yeah, Brother Voodoo's got his place. But I don't know. This Wolverine in the bed, I've, never seen him, really.
So if he's not within 2 squares of his crush
he can't be targeted.
He can give them -1 attack and damage to everybody within 2 squares. so he can do some stat reduction. You also have Mern. So yeah, like with Ace, you're probably looking at like, okay, I want to play more offensively.
Yeah, I guess Mern is
want to
just main
strip you of
force.
your power cosmic. Deadpool is, oh, you have Mern, no, you don't. Now my whole team's water. You're not shooting me. Wolverine, I think, is like potentially defense in addition to his Mern. I don't know what matchup you'd pull that out in. And then Brother Voodoo, I imagine, is probably his standard because that's just free pen damage. It's a prog.
It's so good.
Brother Voodoo, I'm not going to say again is like undersung or whatever, but he is like a prime where it's like if people explored more with him, I firmly believe he is good enough to compete.
That's fair.
Yeah,
But
this
a
is
very,
really
interesting team. I really
Shout
like it.
out Man-Thing again.
Yep.
He rocks.
Christian has played second place. That's a lot of evil. I feel like, was he the guy last year that was also playing the full Masters of Evil with the Thor team-up card? Because that's what we're seeing here as well.
So let's go into why this is good. The Thor team-up card makes it so when a friendly character deals damage, it can't be reduced below 2. This is for Masters of Evil teams. This entire team is MOE swap. It's Kid Thanos, Killmonger, Iron Inquisitor, Ghost Goblin with the pumpkin bombs, Thor with the team-up, so he's not going anywhere. He's staying in. And then Mephisto with a motorcycle. In previous iterations, we saw Mephisto with the Sinestro ring and then a variation of the last 10 points. But on the sideline, you have King Killmonger, you have another Kid Thanos, you have Absorbing Man Prime, you have Black Skull, and then you have Hound, which I think is a bit interesting of a choice. No Ghost Goblin on the sideline, and with Ghost Goblin equipped, maybe he's not planning on bringing him out. But the big thing you can take advantage of here is that your Kid Thanos free damage can't be reduced. Your Ghost Goblin poison can't be reduced. Your energy explosion from Ghost Goblin can't be reduced. Like, you essentially have a precision strike 2 damage AoE.
Ooh, that is so good. Dang.
So with this, I personally would have liked to see Ghost Goblin with the trick arrows because then you have guaranteed 2 damage energy explosion. Guaranteed 2 damage quake. Knockback from quake
dropping
can't be
big is
reduced.
gnarly. Ooh.
5 pen precision damage. So... But the motorcycle on Mephisto, I mean, that's interesting because he already has shape change super senses.
Is this like to give him combat reflexes, you
Give him
think?
charge.
Is to give him charge? Double up on supers and give him charge. I feel like it's got to be giving him combat reflexes in the free move 1.
That's what I would assume.
imagine, yeah.
I don't know. I can't.
Also, letting him have
speak
ignores
entirely on
characters is
Phil.
pretty cool, I guess.
Yeah.
So he can just like move up around, base people. I guess he already has ignore characters. Okay, interesting.
I both love and hate this build.
I
though.
feel like you could drop 1 MOE for double Scott. I feel like, I don't know why you wouldn't do that, because they can both just be Masters of Evil, and it's still a Masters of Evil themed team. Now you've all got, you know what I mean? Where it's like, you already have. Like, so okay, who are your 4 you're switching out? Are these ones you have to keep Thor
you could
in?
drop Mephisto. Well, you don't want to drop Mephisto.
No, you don't want to drop Mephisto. I'm just saying, drop one of these guys for double Scott. You could drop, you can switch into what I feel like. Maybe this is coming from a place of not fully understanding the vision here, but I feel like 4 MOE is good enough. I guess technically 3, because Thor doesn't get a swap, versus playing 4 swappable MOEs. Just play 3 swappable ones, have double Scott, now you have rerolls, now you have +1 to defense, +1 to attack.
Well, I think this might
And
be
then-
a build that really likes to get in the face of your opponent because it likes to run up on
And
you
+1
with a
attack
lot of
doesn't
stuff.
help you do that at all. I
Well,
agree.
it's not that
Ian.
it doesn't help you do that. It's just that I guess, what's the black shirt Scott doing? Like, is he just staying back now?
It would pretty much be, a TK.
I'm not going to say you couldn't do it, but I'm also not going to say, like, that sounds right.
A TK, a reroll, a free heal when you need it. Like,
It's not bad.
feel like it's
I'm
pretty
not
good.
going to argue with
Okay.
you on that. Like, no chance against that. But I will say, like, I think this might be a thing. Like, he might be looking to just switch in Kid Thanos as much as possible and do as much free damage as possible. And Scott doesn't help that. You know what I mean?
I guess it's fair.
There could have been some angles where it's just like, the Scots don't benefit me as much as I'd like them to. I will say, though, I'd be really curious, but like motorcycle on Mephisto, like what is that?
I don't quite get that one. 15 points on motorcycle seems a little wild to me.
This build, though, it's really like, I love this. I love that you can play this, but at the same time, I have tried to play all of my MOE at once. It is a headache.
Yeah. It's hard.
It's a brain pain, man. It's tough.
It's way hard. Coming in third place, Eduardo Rosico, Deadpool, Elsa Bloodstone with the trick arrows for free. We got a monster team going on here. Mern, Pumpkin Bombs, Green Arrow, Black Lantern Green Arrow with Khonshu, Black Lantern Batman with the Mitt, Necron with Tower, and then Scott Porter. Monster team. Everybody's got prob. Everybody's also got these dang gods on the sideline.
Also, nifty traffic barrel and nifty traffic cone. Cone has been a slept-on object, I think. Like, just giving -2 movement is pretty dang solid, especially when you just cart it around. The fact that Ra's al Ghul is the prime on the sideline, too, I love that. Anyone with Assassin is getting that +1 to attack. If you guys are players who forget your Destroyer rolls or your Absorbing Man pieces, I strongly suggest you look into Ra's al Ghul because you will not forget the +1 attack. You'll just know about that.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to keep track of. But I don't know. Black Lanterns getting 3rd place at an event. Does that tell us that Black Lanterns are better? Or does that tell us that Mexico might be lacking a little bit? Maybe they're sleeping a little bit.
Maybe they're sleeping on something? Perhaps. Maybe. I don't know. We have a player here in Omaha that's big on Black Lanterns. I still don't quite fully see the Black Lantern vision, at least completely building with like a majority Black Lantern. I can see the vision for like
he did get
playing
30
Batman
points of free
on a team.
Possessors, though.
That is true. I guess they are all Herald. Okay, yeah.
So you got
That's pretty good.
healing folks.
That is pretty good.
AKA
getting those
green
possessors
arrows
for
if you
free.
don't want to heal Batman. You have Batman getting a free omit, so steal energy.
Yeah.
And he already has that, though. Poison. So that's really not that great of a deal, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then Conchu on Green Arrow, I mean, Prob's always nice. He also has his Infinity Prob already with the Grave Marker.
Oh, that's also true. Oh,
So-
that is kind of odd, I guess, that he
This doesn't
has
feel like
normal
that
prob.
great of value.
Actually,
going
yeah, I don't
forward.
understand why he would put Conchu and Green Arrow. That is,
This is kind of like the...
huh.
Instead of paying $40, you can pay 2 easy payments of $19.99.
Yeah.
What, really?
No way.
$19.99 twice instead of $40? That's kind of what these equipment.
That is really odd, actually.
Still, props to this guy for taking Black Lanterns this far.
I guess he'll be able to
use
use it.
It's pretty cool.
Not more than just his own attacks, I suppose. But why not give that to somebody else? Interesting. Okay.
Yep. Interesting.
4th place, Jerry Gutierrez.
This is wild.
Saturnine at 150.
insane.
Big Mommy Saturnine coming in. Full points. Chase Saturnine wild with Butterfly, Mad Jim, Scott Porter, and a singular time breaker to ramp up a little bit. So Butterfly call-ins look to be Deadpool, Hitmonkey, Mern, and then Legacy Weapon X, which is really cool.
Not Legacy, it's a Chase.
Oh, Chase Weapon X. Oh, okay. Still cool. I still like him. And then we have Trick Arrow, Bucky's Arm, and Red Lantern Ring for Mad Jim Jasper bring-ins there. The Saturnine is wild. Half your build I assume, to do the big...
Dragonfire.
To Dragonfire, do the big cannon thing where you choose like the direct line of fire.
Blast, just boom.
And just blam, blast some fools.
This is incredibly creative. This is really cool.
It is.
I'm sure it caught a lot of people off guard. I do not know enough to comment on this.
Nope.
Not even going to try.
Not really.
But props to you.
It's really cool though.
This is
I like seeing something like this, especially getting 4th place.
The
that
butterfly
rocks.
sideline is also I'm calling in more offense.
They have
Weapon X.
Dude, they have some wild butterfly sidelines down here and down in Mexico. They got some insane butterfly sidelines. I like seeing them though. They're really cool.
Yeah, they got a different net for those butterflies.
Yeah,
they're catching some wild animals here. So,
that is Mexico Nationals. Let's go over to Brazil and check out their Nationals.
Okay. Here is where we go back to the talking point of standard issues, where the standard issue builds have collided. You've got fan favorite Colossus, fan favorite Ghost Rider, fan favorite Butterfly, Kong, and Scott Porter to round it out.
Yeah.
Sideline again. Mern standard. Kazar, I think, is an interesting one that more people need to...
more recent, yeah.
They need to consider more because it does mobilize Kong. It's still very good, but still 50 points. It's tough. Doctor Strange from Spider-Man Beyond Amazing.
That's an interesting one.
Which, yeah.
That's like the shield
one
token one. Yeah, with Invincible. Or broken spell tokens with the shield.
No, that's a pilot, actually. He's 75 points.
Oh, it's a pilot. Oh, okay.
He's a pilot for Ghost Rider.
For Ghost Rider, sure. Energy Explosion Prob, I guess? Or Outwit?
Energy Explosion Prob.
Yeah.
Okay. Major Logan on the side.
That's a classic.
Build. This is crazy.
Yep.
Moon Knight for Precision Perplex. That one makes that's
Yep.
more standard, I guess. But yeah, well, this is if you want, again, another starting point for where to build safely with worlds and also pretty budget friendly, Colossus Ghost Rider. That's 150 points right there. That'll run you probably about $80 to $90 for 2 very strong figures that will both be around post rotation. Toss on your double Scott. Now you're at 200 points and you've spent, give or take $140, $150, and you just have 100 points to round out. You can kind of
that seems close.
That seems like a pretty good deal to me. So, once again, not surprising this one. This is another. It's a theme. It's a ruler theme, but it's another good figure.
A lot of good figures are good. Yeah. Pedro getting second place here. Also rolling up a Colossus. This time with the trick arrows, a
That's
Butterfly, Kong, Killmonger, double Scott. The Butterflies are Mern as well as Khazar. And then he also has some MOE in the sideline if he ever wants to double up on MOE, which is really cool. So, again, kind of simple build. This is just way the Colossus focus. It seems like there's a lot of stock into Colossus here on this team. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 characters. See how well Kong pops off. It's kind of whatever. I wish I had my nifty barrel with Killmonger. That's funny. Yeah, no nifty barrel. This is so sad.
The next build I think you might be a fan of, Calder, and that's because it's a Hawkeye build with trick arrows. You love to see it.
I do.
The Dancing Peacemaker, who we have lost a little interest in, but we don't need to go into that.
No.
Wonder Woman, Mern, Space Ghost, and Leech.
Wow, I've not seen Leech. Man, playing Leech in this era, in this economy of Ghost Riders.
Yeah,
how is
Ghost
he getting?
Rider just says like, I don't care that you exist.
How is he getting Leech out there?
So good. I don't know how he's getting Leech out there. I really don't know what the build path is here, but I dig this. Peacemaker to keep him invincible. Maybe there's some leeching through that somehow.
Leech might just be moving. He might be stepping in himself.
Scott Porters.
Yeah, that is impressive.
Great to see. I won't say like great to see, but it's refreshing.
It's impressive.
I guess
he has no sideline.
This is like the Saturnine build.
This team has no sideline. There's nothing here for sideline. This is wild.
This is gonna get the Chad stamp.
This is a Chad stamp team. Marcelo Silva, you did it, dude. That rocks. Okay. It's kinda,
I don't have any comments.
Yeah, I don't really know what to say about this team, but I'm glad you got third place. This rules. Yeah, it rules.
Another potential Chad build, dude. There's
Kamo. That's what we love to see. Kamo Bucky's arm. Yeah, I want my stats to be just a little bit higher. I'd rather be a 13 for 6. A really quick, casual 13 for 6 on Kamo rocks. Butterfly, Wonder Woman, Scott Porter. Little Daredevil, Mermasa, classic. Love to see it. Collins look to be Mern, Carnage Surfer, and Cosmo. And then some MOE with little Iron Ink and King Killmonger. Very legit. Chthon on Kamo?
Probably Daredevil.
Or on Kamo? Oh, no, he's not mystical. Okay, so yeah, it's Daredevil.
I wish.
That would rock. That would rock.
7. That'd be interesting. But yeah.
Okay, this team rules. This team is obviously sick.
The team.
Yeah, I'm gonna punch you and it's gonna hurt.
Really bad.
Real bad, dude. Yeah, I love it. Like, yeah, a little Daredevil, 12 for 4, or 13. Kamo is also, I guess he's not a 13, he's a 14 for 6 with Scott Porter. That rules. That's awesome. Man, jeez. Yeah, and then obviously you send your shark out there to do some nasty stuff. So love this team, Thiago. This freaking rules. So
that's a cool build.
We got spoiled this last week, Ian. We got a ton of different tournaments. We got to look at a ton of different cool teams, and we had a ton of different live streams to go check out. So make sure you check everything out there, guys. I am heavily enjoying all these tournaments that are coming out, and I love seeing the creativity from people that just aren't. Actually, just everybody is being creative. I was going to say like the non-US stuff is creative, but really, we saw some really cool creative builds. So shout out to everybody playing these past few weeks. We're going to go ahead, round out the episode with a few listeners.
Hold on, Calder. We're forgetting one thing.
Oh, are we? What is it?
Now that we've looked at this massive sample.
Oh, yes.
We had quite the sample to review here. We now have to go into our weekly, what are the 3 pieces going into Worlds that you think are going to do it all? My list has changed.
Okay.
Not very much, but my list has changed.
Okay.
So where I'm at now, previously I was at Mern, MOE Swap, and Wonder Woman. Mern is now off my list. I know it's crazy.
So that's odd to me, and you explained it, but you should better explain it for the listener, because you're very big on Mern, Ian, and so to see him leave is curious.
It's crazy. So Mern has become more of a specialty piece for me. Previously, I was advertising him as the man who can do it all, and I still believe that to a degree, but believe it or not, there's another man who can do it all, but he's more man.
He's more man.
He's more man.
He is, though.
Let me break this down. So I think Mern is a specific piece where if you're playing a range-heavy team, you have to play Mern. Because Mern allows you to say, like, I do not care about your terrain, I do not care about the map, I am going to shoot you. So I am back to the original stance of why people thought Mern was good, which I can always shoot you. as opposed to him being like the defensive threat he is. Honestly, the 4-square bubble that you can't amplify with shield is not as impressive to me. I'm not as thrilled with it anymore. But the main reason is like, okay, the big thing defensively with Mern is that I can shut down your stat modification, which is huge in the era of Scott Porter. But you want to know what is similar to that, and I think better for just 20 more points, is Ghost Rider. And you might be thinking, listener, how is this at all similar to Ghost Rider? Let me break it down for you. If you come into Mern from a defense, so like let's look at this from a defensive angle. If you are coming to me and attacking me in the Mern bubble, you do not get modifiers. So now I'm playing Mern to have a more favorable chance of you missing. What if I told you that I could just play Ghost Rider and accomplish the same thing, but now I also have somebody who's hitting you for like 14 for 6 and is infinitely more versatile on the offensive side? The way that it's similar is instead of me betting on you missing now with your unmodified values against my modified values, I can just bet on my rollouts. Ghost Rider is so easy to secure a 4 through 6 Super Sense on. He's easy to also get Shape Change on. He's easy to get pieces around him that do the same thing. King Killmonger. You have Scott Porter to re-roll these single D6 rolls. So instead of me guaranteeing like the attack roll where you might miss, I'll just guarantee the Super Sense roll that I'll probably hit. So I'll take the 50-50 as opposed to making it to where you need like 8s or 9s to hit. I'll just bet on my Super Sense rolls and I'll bet on offense. So on my list, I still think Death Metal Wonder Woman's amazing because things can still die. Dice can break in your opponent's favor and yours can go to crap real easy. So Death Metal Wonder Woman is a great safety ticket to say, that ain't happening. MOE, infinitely versatile. Great defense, possible offense. It's a machine that keeps your team running. And honestly, I think my number one pick right now is Ghost Rider.
Okay.
I don't think you can go wrong with Ghost Rider at the moment. He pairs with the other big bads. He has great keyword selection. He has infinite customizability with his vehicle, his pilot, whatever equipment you give him, the wild card he chooses, the figures you play around him, the theme you go with. Like, you can make Ghost Rider do whatever you want. And in every single one of those situations, he is a defensive mastermind. And I honestly think you don't need to play Mern if you're playing him primarily for defense. If you're playing a ranged team, it makes sense. But now Mern to me is more specific. I'm going to put my chips on Ghost Rider instead of Mern. There you go. There's my reasoning. I think it's pretty sound.
That really convinced me, too. I was already starting to lean more toward Ghost Rider. Just so many people are playing him in
it makes sense.
And it makes a lot of sense. I like the idea of the investing in rollouts versus investing in things like stats and whatever. So I think it's kind of curious to see that as like an argument against Mern. I think that's like a really cool way of like looking at it and everything. I'm also with you on Ghost Rider. I think Ghost Rider is my new like number one after seeing it being played so many times. I think Ghost Rider's up there for me.
There's no figure, I think, that plays both ends as well as Ghost Rider. Offensively and defensively.
I mean, you're getting such a good attacker and then also such a good defensive piece. Just straight up. So I really like Ghost Rider. The rest of them, it's a little shaky. I think you have to say MOE after seeing all these tournaments. I just don't know how MOE just isn't played. Yeah. They've always just been this insane engine for offense and defense. MOE is just crazy strong. And the last thing I'm gonna probably say, a little cheating, but I'm gonna say Butterfly. I'm just seeing too much. Fair. I'm seeing just too much Butterfly. I'm seeing too much diversity in the Butterfly call-ins, which I really enjoy. And I just think being able to pull, like, again, casting a wide net on what you can actually do and the creativity that Butterfly allows to pull in, I think he's just like the kind of my new must-play piece for Worlds. So,
what I've found with Butterfly, and this is just personal, this is not me making a knock against it, so I have some bias against Butterfly, is when I'm playing it and I'm building the sideline, I oftentimes find myself thinking, like, I wish I had, like, 10 or 15 more points. And then I end up taking Butterfly off the build.
Oh, sure.
So,
okay.
And for me, too, as a player, I don't think, the swap stuff was just never great for me. Like,
I hate swap. I never really enjoyed,
like
X-Men swap or Avenger swap or any of that stuff. Swap was never my cup of tea.
Part of it is, like, I want figures that I understand to a T, and I feel like if I'm using Butterfly, I'm like moving away from that. So just on a personal level, like, I know I'm literally like calculating my own bias into this. Butterfly is a great pick. It's probably the right pick. But man, Death Metal Wonder Woman,
not for you.
I don't even think you...
Not for you.
You don't even have to like play her as a Butterfly option. I think you just play her. Like, that's how good I think she is.
I think most people do just play her.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
That's why I personally put her above Butterfly.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because Butterfly, you're paying that 10-point premium to swap into things. And when you switch into Major Logan, 15-point premium.
Yeah.
You're paying for those options. It makes sense. I'm not knocking the figure, but I think MOE and even Death Metal Wonder Woman, I'd punch slightly above it. Butterfly, for me, is probably falling in 4 or 5.
Okay.
Mern is also probably still falling
fair.
in 4 or 5. But Ghost Rider, I'm not going to say he was off the radar. He's always a consideration, but now it is like very clear, very apparent.
I mean, take me back to 2014. It's a Ghost Rider Worlds, man. It's
Oh my god! No, do not. Don't take me back to the match where. Yeah,
Ghost
I thought
Rider
I had
Bat Belt
7
Heroes for
damage, I had
Hire.
6.
Ghost Rider Bat Belt Heroes for Hire. What a great time! And I was just
Literally losing a match because I just thought I had a different, just different stats. It was what a great time for Heroclix,
So
but
sad.
also so sad.
but also just copy paste.
Man,
get
back when you could go to
qualified.
Gen Con and there was like space to walk around, I remember that. I remember, it was crazy, man.
But all right,
as I was
there's our new updated Worlds rankings. Let us know, guys. You've known this 2-3 weeks now.
This is
If
week
you
3.
guys want to send in your top 3 for Worlds, and if they
argue with
change,
us.
if they
Debate us.
change week to week, or if you don't like any of our picks, by all means, please send either Ian or I a message, or send an email to Dial H or a message on the Facebook to Dial H to talk to both of us, because it's really fun and I enjoy this kind of thing. So
Another note, too, just very quickly, is that if you guys have noticed, since kind of the shifting of hands on the Dial H podcast, it's been a little more competitively geared. It just happened to happen during the most competitive season.
I think it's just the season we're in
It's the
more
season.
than anything.
We will get back to your standard casual Dial H.
I want to get back to a lot of fun team builds, generic gallery stuff. I definitely want to try to do some
That's
some
not
more
where my
goofy.
energy is at all right now.
No, my energy's definitely more so in playing and figuring out, getting behind the mind of a lot of these people. I had chatted with a few people last weekend that were like, do you miss not playing or anything? And it's like, honestly, I'm so less invested in what gets played when I'm not playing that I have to remind myself that I have to talk about all these things.
I'm the complete opposite.
So I have to. No, it's like if I don't have any, horse in the race, dog in the race, whatever you want to say, then I'm just like, oh, okay, whatever. That's a thing that's happening separate from me, and it's so easy for my brain to get that way. Where I have to remind myself, okay, it was kind of fun to do some online practice last night, especially in prep for Worlds, because I want to provide good coverage, provide decent, not commentary, but talk with the players about what they're playing and have it be makes sense. I understand what you guys are doing, going through. So I'm also just trying to delve myself more into the competitive aspects of how things are changing right now, more so just in preparation for Worlds. So it's also just kind of where I'm making my mind be at right now. But I can't wait to get back to just goofy
my brain starts
Heroclix.
itching. My brain just starts itching when it's around this time. You just
Spiders in my skin. My brain is itching.
I have to figure out the competitive stuff. I have to hear about it. I have to see it. I don't have to play it for whatever reason.
Gotta see it. I need it. I need it.
That's really what it boils down to. So yeah.
But all right, let's jump into a few listener questions for the show. These are all very samey questions. They kind of piggybacked off of one another, which is totally cool. Tyler M. asks, what are the odds of us getting a Japanese Spider-Man from the 70s show in the upcoming Spider-Man set? If he had appeared in the Spider-Verse movie, I would say a lot higher.
Yeah.
I like the Japanese Spider-Man. He's very goofy. He's very silly. He's got the big watch thing that he flips
The
out of.
Omnitrix.
I also personally really want Turkish Spider-Man. I don't think Marvel will ever reference that, but he is hilarious. He rocks. But we'll see. Maybe
He's a little past the.
He's
Spider-Man line. Probably.
He is a bad. He's evil
Bad
Spider-Man. He's a
Spider-Man.
bad Spider-Man. So he's probably not getting made. But Marvel did make, or Funko made, the 70s Spider-Man Funko Pop. So it's a chance that we'll get one. Okay. He's in the marketing realm. Eli doubles back on that. Better yet, will we get to see one of the Spider-Verse's best Spider-Man? And he has so this is probably my favorite scene in Spider-Verse, Lego Spider-Man talking to 2099. I feel like there's just no way we get Lego Spider-Man in Heroclix unless
if that happened. Wow.
Dude, if 2099 made Lego Spider-Man as a bystander, how cool would that be? I don't know if that would literally
get the rights
could
to
ever
Lego.
happen. No, I don't know if that could literally ever happen, but it would be pretty sick. It'd be really cool. And then Alex piggybacks again, same, but Spider-Man from 3, Dev Adam. I don't know what that is, I guess. So maybe we get him.
I'm not familiar with what
in
3 Dev Adam is.
I don't know what that
Let's take
is.
a quick
Spider-Man
look.
from 3 Dev Adam. I don't know what that is. Then I guess if you want
Take
to
a
double
quick
check,
look.
check it out,
Dev Adam.
see what it is. Ian.
1973 action sci-fi film with some Captain America looking.
Oh, that's Turkish Spider-Man. That's
Oh, that's
Turkish
the name of
Spider-Man.
it.
Oh, I didn't
Oh.
know it was called Dev Adam. Oh, okay, from 3
Okay,
Dev
then
Adam.
yeah, we're on the same page.
Then yes, obviously we would love to get that, but I think it's probably not going to happen.
Oh wow, literally.
I didn't know that was what it was
I've
called.
never seen the
Wow.
box art for that, and I did not know it was called that.
No, it's okay. Well, that makes sense that it isn't called Turkish Spider-Man when it's what they would, I guess, refer to it in Turkey. That makes more sense. Yeah, absolutely. I would love that. I would rule. And the Maggot asks, cosplay at Worlds, ? I will probably getting a little peer pressured by the Manny King's Mortal Kombat boys. So I want to bring Captain America and I want to bring Peacemaker, but I also really want to rock the dress attire. So I think dress attire is going to take priority, but you can probably see some cosplay at Worlds. You should cosplay at Worlds, Maggot. You should bring a costume.
You cosplay.
You do it, man. Have fun.
I'm not going to cosplay.
Totally fine.
That's not my wheelhouse.
And then he also asks, when is the next workshop with Kalder? For those that I guess have been Facebook friends with me, not many people probably know this, but I'll do a live in the prop shop every couple of months in recent years. Basically when I'm like working on a cosplay thing and I'm bored and I just want to like go live and talk about cosplay while I'm working on something. I don't know when the next one of those will happen. When I get ready for another convention, maybe. They have not been happening recently because I just have not been cosplaying as much. It's been one of the hobbies that's not been as explored as of late. Really, these past like 2 or so years have not been big cosplay years for me. But whenever I start making more stuff, you can probably expect some more workshops. But if you guys want to ask us questions like how these listeners ask us questions and just join our amazing Discord community, we always have people picking up playing practice games, playing some Bad Sam every once in a while, which is a great fun Heroclix guessing game, or just joining the voice chat and just riffing, chatting Heroclix, chatting whatever. It's a ton of fun. You can go for as little as $5 a month, join our Patreon. That gets you access to the Discord, some really cool giveaways, and some really awesome action tokens when we send out our Patreon rewards. You can also join at a higher tier for things like t-shirts. A lot of Cap Wolf shirts are going to get sent off here soon, which is really cool, and all sorts of other fun ways to just go ahead and support us and the show and all that we do. We appreciate that. There is a link to the Patreon in the description below, but that is all we have for this week, ladies and gentlemen. So if you want to support Dial H, not just on Patreon, but in other ways, you can, of course, make sure you leave us a review wherever you listen to podcasts, and then make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're not subscribed to Dial H for Heroclix on YouTube, that's kind of wild. Don't know how you wouldn't be, but make sure to go subscribe to the channel. Get your mom, your brother, your aunt, your uncle to subscribe to Dial H for Heroclix on YouTube, too. Just, They can just ignore it. They'll be like, oh, why is it subscribed on my phone? Just pump those numbers up. Help us out. We appreciate it. But yeah, guys, that is going to be it for the show. Any last minute shout outs, Ian?
I don't know. Honestly, shout out to all the creative builds this week.
There we go.
And shout out to everyone still trying to rack their brain over what to play for Worlds. I myself am doing the same, but I think it's becoming a little more narrowed down, and at some point, maybe I will put together the team that I would play for Worlds if I was going to play in Worlds, and we'll see what that'll look like.
Absolutely. I am going to say our player of the week is Josiah with his bad to the bone, triple Ghost Rider, triple motorcycle build. This level of creativity and awesome. It's a sick build, and I love to see stuff like this. It's just hilarious, and it makes me happy to see it. So you win
55
player
points
of the week.
equipment. 55 points of equipment. That is just...
That is, wow.
That's almost another Ghost Rider.
That rules. Oh, it's so funny. So yeah, I love seeing great, hilarious team builds like that. So keep it up. Well, guys, for all your Heroclix podcasts, YouTube videos, unboxings, and more, make sure you Dial H. And like always, happy trails.
So if you're looking for emotional satisfaction, my advice to you is seek professional
Heroclix,
help.
I'm here to take back what's mine. You may try, but you know how we set things here. Instant deadpan humor.
Over 6 people think I am funny.
I'm your Captain America.
That was just you in a costume.
You absolute fools.
Simi to be able to make that out. That's cool because it's expensive. I'm gonna make Heroclix like that forever. Are you kidding? Wow, wow, wow.